Hi everyone. Thank you for joining me again for the recording of this week's blog. The name of the blog this week is called Self-Acceptance. So what does it mean to accept ourselves completely? Can we answer yes to the question, do I fully accept and appreciate myself? I think many of us would respond, well, it depends. Am I having a good hair day? Did I lose the 15 pesky pandemic pounds that I put on? Did I get the promotion at work or meet my monthly quotas? Is my bank account hefty and my home the envy of all who walk through my door? If we can answer yes to whatever the conditions are that qualify us to offer self-acceptance to ourselves, we will most likely feel proud and satisfied with who we are, at least according to how the world perceives us. Yet of all the things I mentioned, will any of them matter at all when we are standing before the spiritual doorway that will journey us back home? When our time here is done, will we be concerned about any of the things that we often view as preconditions to our self-love and self-acceptance? I think most of us will agree that we will not be the least bit concerned. Why? Because the soul is what goes home, not the ego. The ego that is only relevant during our existence here on the earth plane is shed with the physical form when we go home, or before we go home. However, right now, the ego is the part of us that fools us into thinking that our self-worth is determined by how we are judged by the standards of the material world. So how can we learn to enjoy a sense of acceptance no matter what is happening in the forefront of our lives or the bulges on our bellies? The answer is not easy, and yet it is. The answer is open awareness. The ego is not going to go away anytime soon. It will be our constant, sometimes annoying companion for the full duration of our time here. Trying to ignore it or even deny its existence will most likely end in a failed venture. Being open and aware of those moments when the ego tries to hijack our equanimity and toss us into the fires of our self-judgment will prevent us from being victimized by its fear. Like me, some of you may be thinking, yeah, okay, easier said than done. It is a constant struggle to stay grounded in the truth of who we truly are and not get lost in the illusion that we are our bodies or our bank accounts. Every time we fall headfirst into self-loathing and judgment of all of our perceived flaws and faults, we completely lose sight of our inner beauty and divine love. Yet it's likely going to happen, unless, of course, we have finally reached the full evolution of our soul. We will most likely continue to have moments where we compare ourselves to others and feel either arrogant and superior or remorseful and ashamed. We can never forget the fact that we are mortal humans with emotions and feelings that make our experience here bittersweet. We wanted this experience with all of its ups and downs and joys and sorrows and victories and defeats. Simply being aware of when we have relinquished our soul-mindedness and handed the wheel of our vessel over to our ego is the only way to self-correct and take back control of our thoughts, perceptions, and intentions. I believe that we made some critical decisions when we decided to embark on the journey to the earth plane once again. We each have a certain life purpose that is crucial to the evolution and growth of our souls and the united soul of the One, all of us. The body we chose, along with its strengths and weaknesses, were determined to be perfect to accomplish our specific goals. By this world's standards, we may appear beautiful or ugly, fit or frail. If we listen to the distorted mind of the collective consciousness, we may fail to see that we'll fail to see that all that we are and each circumstance we face They're all part of a bigger picture designed to help us achieve our spiritual objectives. Unfortunately or fortunately, along with the fruitful experience of living a physical life, we also experience a sort of spiritual amnesia that is the consequence of existing in the density and obscurity of the earth plane. We're unable to remember many of the reasons why we came here, and that can keep us confused and frustrated. That is why it is vital to understand that we are not alone. We're all in this together. When we seek the answers to life's questions and the meaning of our lives here, we will find them. We have our team of light on the other side that is always reaching out to us and trying to connect with us and to guide us. They can help us remember our divine nature and light the path forward for us. They can also lead us to the people here on earth that we have soul contracts with. Those are people who have agreed to show up in our lives to assist us in our awakening. So when we have those moments when we wish we were anyone other than who we are, we can simply hit the pause button, pull back our energy from wherever we are mindlessly focusing it, and return home to ourselves. We can slip back into our inner sanctuary and breathe in the love of our Creator and all the other beings who are sending out love to us. Accepting that love and believing that we are worthy of it will help us offer our own love and acceptance to ourselves as well. During our vulnerable moments, if we speak to ourselves with kindness, compassion, and forgiveness, we may find tears of surrender and joy seeping from our grateful eyes. We may feel less contracted and more open. In those moments of ascension and transcendence, we can rise above the weariness of competition and judgment that is so copious in this world. We may unexpectedly and excitedly feel the flutter of our spiritual wings as they push through our limitations and emerge from our humanity. Like a caterpillar that transforms into a magnificent butterfly, we could also spread our wings and fly free. Our love and self-acceptance will be the wind beneath our wings, and that will guide us through our earthly lives, help us to grow from all of our thrills, trials, and tribulations, and ultimately lead us gently back to our heavenly home. So let us affirm now with certainty, I love and accept myself fully and completely. I am a perfect configuration of energy, and the world needs me just as I am. And so it is. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed that. It was really very emotional for me to write this because it's something that has been a struggle for me in the early part of my life. I was always judging myself that I should be better at this, I should do this better. And I think that's the way it is for a lot of us. We're constantly thinking we're just not enough. But this whole blog was about understanding that we are enough. We don't have to do anything. We don't have to be anything to be loved, because we are loved. It's just how it is. And the only way we don't feel loved is when we don't love ourselves. When we start there and begin to love and accept ourselves with all of our flaws and all the things that we wish we could change, and we try to change, and that's something we should do. But we can't change who we really are in our core. We can only change the behaviors surrounding that. But who we really are is beautiful and filled with love. And it's really all a matter of connecting with that and remembering how awesome each and every one of us really is. Okay, that's enough for me today. So I hope everybody's having a great day, as always, and I'll see you next time. Namaste.